Welcome back to the channel. I'm MoedotJ and we are locked in. This is episode 8 of Power Book 4, Force. Now this is the last episode. We have a week break and then 9 and 10 will drop. And then you got to remember we have a 6-month break ahead of us. Now we got Dahlia on the street. We got the chemist on our side. We need to put this work in the streets and get it to make us some money because that's what it's all about. But before we jump into this episode, shout out to the notification gang. If you're new to the channel, you'll be a part of it. Hit the subscribe button, turn on your notification bell so you get something every time I upload. Hit that like button. It's the easiest thing you can do. Now we know how the Flynn family is. Walter, he's against everything the kids are doing. Claudia, she's out here partnered up with Tommy. And Vic, he's still trying to figure out what he's going to do. Is he going to stick with his dad? Is he going to go with Gloria? So hopefully this episode will figure that out. So let's jump into it. This is episode 8 of Power Book 4, Force. This is one of the exclusive clips that we've seen with Miss Soto and Tommy. Now we know that she's tried Dahlia. She's actually picked it up at the convention center at a locker and she wants in. Now Tommy shows up and she wants to know the price and he's saying it's $55,000 a brick. Now you got to remember these drugs, they do not glow anymore, but it's the same product. And she's like, how do we know? And Tommy tells her, I don't sell no BS. So of course she's in. 55,000, you can easily sell this and maybe double your money. So you got to get in now while it's hot and especially be one of the first people to put it on the markets. Miss Soto, she knows that, hey, this Tommy guy, he's legit. You have to remember the Jews, they in on this too. And they come in to say, hey, I'll take 3 bricks right now. And I'm not that good with math, but 3 bricks for 55 off the top of my head is roughly about $165,000. So shoot, if we making this kind of money, we might as well get it going right now. Sold to the man with the hat. We seen last week Walter actually threw away the pamphlets talking about lung cancers. Well, he's talking to a doctor now and she just confirmed that it's early, but he does have lung cancer. Now he hasn't told Claudia about this. We know that Paulie, he's probably the only one that really knows about it, but we know Vic knows that he's also a little bit sick. With the new product on the market, we got to be able to put out enough to meet the demand. So what Tommy is thinking is we need to come up with another cook. And he wants to put them on 3-hour shifts. 3 times 8 gives you 24 hours in a day. This is why people don't get burned out, because you'll have one person coming in. But Claudia is thinking, who can you trust? Someone from New York? He's like, nah, New York is dead. So he needs somebody here in Chicago that he can trust, that he can actually. Tommy leaves there and he has it in the back of his mind that he needs a new cook. So he goes to see his brother JP, and of course, just the problem is at the house not doing anything. It looks like he's working on some stairs or something when he needs a job. But he's saying that the bank is going to go ahead and start the foreclosing on the club. And I told y'all that's where the bulk of the money comes from. And then his dad also needs something. But he doesn't want a handout from Tommy. Last week he asked Tommy, could you put me in the game? Could you help me out? Could you do something for me? And of course, I still stick with Tommy, don't do it. Can we really trust JP? He said he used to move a little bit away back in the day, but we talking about big numbers now. But this has Tommy thinking. JP is good with his hands. He does stay focused for the most part. So he asked him, how good were you in science class? This could potentially be our new cook. Now, JP, you got to be focused, man. You can't be greedy. When you get around that money, you got to know how to act. We get it. Tommy has the street smarts. Claudia, she's more of in the books. She runs the numbers. So she's talking about bringing in CBI. Now we know Tommy, he's good with Diamond, but he doesn't want Jenard being connected to it because he knows right now CBI is basically split between the two, even though Diamond's the top dog. So he's telling Claudia, no, I don't want to work directly with Jenard. That's just bad for business right now. But I would want to work with Diamond if we can get this product up and running, because the Serbs, they do have that pipeline. They do have control of that. So that's why Claudia's thinking, let's just jump into it. But of course, Tommy's like, nah, that ain't how the streets work right now. Especially after they voted Tommy out. You know he feels a certain type of way. And we really can't trust Jenard. We've seen how he's been acting. Diamond is the smart one out of CBI. We know Jenard's been holding it down for the last 10, 15 years while his brother was locked up. So he's trying to pick Jenard's brain and he's asking him, what would you do if you was in charge of CBI? And Jenard says, were you trying to retire early or something? But what I would do is I would go 150% into this new drug, Dahlia. Now Diamond is hearing this, and he already asked Tommy about it last week, but Tommy act like he didn't know. So now he's thinking, all right, cool. But Jenard just, reassures him and lets him know that CBI started with you and it's going to end with you. Now, I don't know if that was a shot when he said end with you, but he's saying CBI is going to run through you. But I do say that Dahlia product, whoever has it, we need to get in on it, because you remember he tried the drug in the back of that Lamborghini and in the strip club. Two of the biggest, most hated, most wanted, bounty on their heads drug dealers of Chicago, Tommy and Miss Miami Mummy herself, are just walking around casually talking. Now he's thinking about a few things, and whenever Tommy gets that grin on his face, you need to be aware, because it's only going to be some nonsense. And Claudia, she's like, well, what are you doing, Tommy? What are you thinking about? Now what Tommy is doing is he's just trying to, soften her up. He's, ease into it. But guess what? I got a brother, and I respect you because you're a professional criminal like me. But you ain't try to smash me or nothing like that. She's talking about, I don't have sex with white boys, Tommy. He says, look, I have a brother here, and I'm thinking about bringing him in. But no one can know that he's my brother. The only person that knows this right now is you. And she's thinking, how long have you had a brother? He's like, for my whole life. But of course, this is just something new. You just pop up and tell somebody, hey, I have a brother. So Claudia's kind of thinking like, all right, Tommy, I'll guess I won't tell anybody. Dirty cop, no line having Officer Bennigan. Yeah, he's in a lot of trouble. Now, it turns out the Flynns are paying him $100,000. Now, this guy Workowski is coming up like, I know they're not giving you overtime at the job, but I got to get me a new boat. I got to get me a new house, and I want half of whatever they're paying you, the Flynns. Now, that's $100,000. And you hear Bennigan say, well, if I give you $50,000, how would I be able to take care of my sister? So you have a pension, you have a pay from the police, and then you're getting $100,000 on top. So you're around 140, 150 maybe, and you can't manage to take care of your sister with that. Bennigan, it looks like you and JP been hanging out with each other. But he told him, look, I'll give you a week or two to come up with the 50,000. You know how to make some money. Go get some more. We know that Walter is sick. He hasn't told his daughter Claudia, but he wants to talk to her. And this little meeting is basically saying, Claudia, I know you're doing something behind my back, and I'm going to stop it. No matter what it costs, no matter what it takes, I'm going to stop it. Now, you remember she was asking for a gun to be protected in the streets, and he basically told Claudia, you aren't prepared for this life. You can't shoot nobody. So for her hearing that and then having this meeting here where her dad told her specifically that I'm going to be the one to stop you, she's telling him, whatever you do, you got to come at me hard then, Dad. Pause, because I'm not giving up what I got. And if you want to go there, let's do it. So for Walter, this is your daughter officially turning on you. We already know Walter, he had Vic in the room, and Vic pretty much turned his back on him and chose Gloria over him. This is exactly what Uncle Paulie was saying, man. You're going to potentially lose both of your kids. Vic needs to talk to Bennigan. We know Bennigan's in a tough situation here. He needs to make some extra bread. So Vic is saying, look, whoever has this new product, Dahlia, I need you to take them off the streets. Like, take them off. We mean get rid of them, exterminate, do whatever you need to do. And Bennigan's like, that's going to cost you double what you're paying me, because I don't do drugs. I don't do narcotics. But what Vic is telling them is, I already got that. So now we got $200,000. He got $50,000 that's going to go to Workowski. That means $150 to himself. And he has to kill whoever has Dahlia in the streets. Now, he doesn't know that it is, saying Claudia. But this could end bad. This could end very, very bad. We heard Jenard talking to Diamond about going 100% in on this new drug, Dahlia. Now, we don't know who has it. So he tells Blackson, look, we going to go hard. I want every corner on this city touched, flipped. We want to find out who has these drugs. I got 20 bands for any information on who's selling this drug, because he wants to get in on it. With the Serb pipeline putting this out there, this could be a big money maker for CBI. Walter really wants to know what exactly Claudia is doing behind his back. So he's telling Vic, I need you to find that out. That's your only job, because you're next in charge. And Vic says, are you going to tell her that you're sick? He's like, I'm not telling her anything. You're taking over the Flynn family, and that's it. No negotiations. And what does Vic say? Well, I'm going to do it, but Gloria's going to be by my side. And you know that Walter hates hearing that that black woman is going to be by his son's side. No matter what goes on, he could be having the worst day of his life, but he hears a black woman with his son, he just loses it. And that's not going to happen on his watch. Just a problem, aka just pretending, aka just participating in life, shows up to the hospital. And when he gets there, he's just updating, the emergency contacts for his grandma. And she's like, what day did you bring her in? He's like, yeah, I brought her in on Tuesday. And then all of a sudden we hear an emergency in the back. Now everyone rushes back there to Miriam's room. And now he's trying to go in there, but they're like, sir, you got to stay out of here. And he's like, man, what the hell is going on here? Now it turned out Miriam passed. Now Tommy gets there and JP says, I was just in the room and I stepped out, and then that's all that happened. But here go a thumb drive of everything of you and her. You really need to call Kate. And Tommy's like, I'm not calling her, bruh. There's just nothing that I have to talk about, saying with my mom, Kate, or your mom, Kate. I told you she's dead to me. And JP's like, man, she at least deserves that. That is her mom. We've all been saying that the chemist needs to understand that the mummy of Miami, she is not your friend. She's here to babysit you. She's here to get this product up and running. Not only that, you work for her. She put in half of the investment on this drug. Now, she's getting kind of burned out. And the chemist is asking, how did you put up with it in New York? She said, I wasn't cooking in New York. I just carried things around. That's how I got slashed up. So don't say that I'm lucky, because I've been stabbed, cut on my face, my hand burnt, and shot. And this is what we've been telling the chemist. This is not your friend. Liliana, she's here on business. So you can't really just try to be buddy with her. Yes, she went on that date with you, but we need to get this product up because it's her money that's invested. This was another exclusive clip that released this week, and it's between Walter and our man Tommy. Now he shows up, and of course, Walter is going to do anything and everything he can to try to help out his kids, but only for his personal benefit. And what I mean by that is he's asking Tommy, how's my son still out in these streets doing these things? You know what I'm saying? You must be looking out for him, because Tommy says, nah, he's just good, And Walter knows being in these streets and being good, that isn't going to get you to stay alive out here. Now, Tommy does throw in a little subtle jab like, hey, I seen you went at the Serbs. And Walter's like, but didn't you start that? Tommy's still not admitting to it, so that's good. But what this meeting is really about is Walter is seeing how Tommy is moving in these streets, and he made an imprint in the little time that he's been in Chicago. So what he's thinking is, if my son is following you along, then maybe if you join the Flynn family, you can be that mentor for him. And then, what did I just say? This would be a personal gain for Walter. He doesn't have to worry about Tommy, and his son will fall in line. But Tommy does mention, hey, he's going to be with Gloria, whether you like it or not. And Walter says, well, when I get done with it, we're going to see about that. But he also lets Tommy know that I wish you were the one still messing with Gloria, because when it's all said and done, I want to look at the look on your face when I get rid of her. So Walter pretty much said, look, if my son's not going to leave her, then I'm going to get rid of her. Claudia has it in her mind that CBI is the next place she wants to go. They got the Serb pipeline. We can just flood the streets with this. But Tommy already told her no. So what does she do? She goes behind Tommy's back and she goes to Diamond. But we know that about Diamond is he is smart, and he read right through her. And he says, look, you're only offering me 10% of this new drug. That means you don't own all of it. That means you have partners. If you're only offering 10%, that's going to come out of whatever you're doing on the side. And that's really bad business. Now, if whoever her partners were, she could have came to Diamond and said, here go 30, 40%, because that means she's making more and the other person agrees. So Diamond pretty much turns this down. But when she's walking out, he asks, do you know anybody with Dahlia? And she already said, oh, this deal's over with. You shot me down, so I'm going to shoot you down. But now he knows Claudia has something to do with this new drug on the streets. And he's making a little bit of mistake, but he's right though. You're going behind whoever she's partnered with for a little 10%, and you have the Serb pipeline. If I'm putting that much work in the street through my pipeline, I'm gonna need at least 30 to 40% of whatever it is coming through the pipeline. And that's just common math, but he still wants to know, because you can make a large profit with this new drug called Dahlia. Uncle Paulie has really been the voice of reason for our man Walter. So he's been trying to tell him over and over, look, you need to treat your kids a little bit differently. Maybe the reason they aren't bringing you in on anything they're doing is because how you're doing. How you're doing them is wrong. You're pushing them to the limit and they're not getting a chance to actually express what they want to do. Now, Walter is talking all this stuff, but you can probably blame it a little bit on that cancer. He's like, look, I don't know who I can trust, and this is what I want done. And Paulie's just shaking his head. He got the glasses on like, Walter, listen to me, bro. You have a chance to do something special with these kids, man. Give them a chance. Tommy heads straight over to Vic's and he's telling them straight up, look, you and Gloria, y'all got to get out of Chicago right now. Not like right now, but right now. And of course, Vic is like, man, what are you talking about? He said, look, I went and talked to your dad and it's going to end bad for you. You're going to have to get up out of here. Now, of course, Vic doesn't know if he can really trust Tommy or not because, I mean, they did a little bit of business, but Tommy was also messing with Gloria. And he's saying, look, me and you, we had our differences. And Tommy lets him know that now is the time you really need to get out of here. I got a car for you. It's unregistered, no GPS. Just don't take the highways, but get up out of here because your dad, with the meeting I just had with him, it's not going to end good for you. So this has Vic wondering what exactly is going on here because he had plans and we already heard him tell Walter Gloria is going to be by his side regardless. But Walter wants Gloria dead. Miss Adrian, Miss throw that thing on the first night and the second night and the night after and the night after. Well, we know that she's a journalist. And Diamond, he's a very smart man, so he figured it out. He knows what she does, and he wants to know, why were you at the diner in my spot? Now, she admits that she doesn't sleep for leads. So the connection that they had was, in her words, I would say genuine. But she actually went there to meet Elijah, and Elijah was going to tell about CBI and how gang members, they don't have any leadership, and this is one reason they're in the gang. So we know Elijah's dead. That's why he didn't show up. But now she's admitting and saying, originally I was going to write a piece, but now, what we have is a little bit different. Tommy comes over to drop a bag off with Claudia and let her know, hey, we got to get a bigger place. We're going to be counting all this money. Now, he came over with a couple $100,000 on him. House is bigger than what they got, but Claudia, she's been out here and she has her own vision of what she wants to do. And Tommy's like, hey, you trying to step out? You trying to do something? She's like, nah, but my dad, he's really trying to stop whatever we have. And Tommy just reassures her that, listen, me and you, we're partners. So if Walter comes at you, that means he's coming at my stuff. You got that? Basically saying, I'm not backing down from Walter. I was just over there talking to your pops earlier today, and I ain't scared of him. So now Claudia's, she sees that she finally has someone on her side that she can low-key trust because she's invested with our man Tommy. And Tommy ain't never gonna back down. Good old D-Mac. We know him and Marshall got into a fight over the connect with Buddy, and they pretty much X D-Mac out the group. I mean, he's still a part of CBI, but his job has really been trying to find Tommy. Now, he runs up on Tommy again after last week. We know he warned Tommy about being in these streets and watching his back at all times. So what he's looking for is a job, and he's good with numbers. So Tommy is throwing out some numbers to him, and he's doing the math. What's this times this? What's this divided by this? And he's getting the answers right. And Tommy's like, you know what? I might have a position for you because we need somebody good with those numbers. And that's exactly what D-Mac wanted to hear because he's been X'd out and he ain't getting no money with CBI like he should be getting money. Now, you remember Tommy told Liliana about his brother, JP. Now, he bringing JP over, and this is pretty much like an internship right here, 90-day probation. We gonna see what you can do. Me and Liliana, we got this product going. We need you to work it. And she's like, what do? You play trumpet? He's like, no, actually, saxophone. She's like, okay, cool. Now they start talking about their family tree, and Tommy ain't trying to hear none of that. Tommy's like, let's get focused and let's get this stuff cooking. Because you remember, Tommy wants to put everybody on an 8-hour shift so they don't get burned out. The chemist, Liliana, and now JP, if he can get the job done. You remember Jenard told Blackston, look, $20,000 for any information on who's moving Dahlia in these streets. Now they come back and they let Jenard know that the Jews are moving it. Now this is Marshall and Blackston. So they get their 20,000, they split it 10 and 10. But now Jenard's like, all right, if they got the work, we need to go get the work so we can start putting it on the street. Now, you remember Jenard was going to be in school. He's been holding down CBI because his brother was in the slimmer. So he tells Blackston and Marshall, what y'all need to do with this 10,000 is go down to Chicago State University and enroll in history class. At least he's telling them to get an education. That's good. Now, Vic is convinced Gloria that they need to leave about the city. He paid off her debt. silly. He sold the land, 2.5 million, silly. And she was a little like, what? We're really going to leave? So yeah, they're about to get up out the city. Now, Paulie comes over to talk to Vic, and he's pretty much telling them, even though your dad's been hard on you, I look at you like a son. I would want you as a son, because he knows Vic wants to make his dad proud. It's just the way Walter acts makes it hard. But Vic already has it in his mind that it's made up. He wants to be with Gloria, so he got to get up out the city, especially after hearing exactly what Paulie just told him. It pretty much verifies what Tommy was saying earlier, that you might need to leave ASAP. JP, aka Jugging Pots, he in here whipping things up. Liliana's like, hey, he's doing all right. Tommy's like, all right, let's keep it up. You know what I'm saying? You got to make this right. It's got to be the same every single time. Hey, you got a new name. It ain't just a problem no more. It's Jugging Pots. Keep this up. Jenard heard that the Jews got that work, and he slides up on one. And he's like, man, let me get that pack up off you. And he's playing it off like, what are you talking about? My man pulls out the gun, silencer on it. You already know what sound the silencer make. Ping, 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 ping. Laid him down, took that work, and got up out of there. Man, they about to start a mini war. Tommy is going to be upset when he finds out that the Jews, they getting jumped. Even though he already got paid, he's still going to be upset for the simple fact he doesn't want Jenard in on this. And they just paid $165,000 for 3 bricks at $55 a piece. We could have got that again next month. But Jenard is messing things up. We know that Jenard's been messing around with Buddy out there in Gary, Indiana, and they supposed to be bringing them things through. But now he just got that work from the Jews. So he's like, man, I got this new stuff here. Go ahead and try it. And Buddy's thinking, we don't do that out here. You know what I'm saying? This ain't high fashion. This is Gary, Indiana. But once they try it, he's like, ooh, never mind. We might need this new product. What's this called? Dahlia? Oh, yeah. Deli? No. Dahlia? Whatever it is, we are in. At first, I thought the drug was so good it straightened out his eye. I was wrong. That thing still cocked to the right. Now, they get the Dahlia for free. The only thing Jenard wants in return is, hey, when I call you, come to Chicago, bullets and bodies. I'm talking about lay down whoever, whenever, wherever we tell you to. Buddy's like, say less. Love is in the air. Vic and Gloria, they getting ready to pull off. They got 2.5 milli. All her debt is gone. We about to start a new life. Well, at least they thought they were, until a truck rams them off the road and dude hops out. And I'm talking about he let that thing rip. No silencer on this thing. I'm talking about letting it go through the truck. Vic talking about, get down, Gloria, get down. Vic gets hit in the arm. Everybody ducking. This guy hops in a whip. He drives off. We like, damn, this was a nicely orchestrated hit. This is kind of like Training Day. Now, this has to be one of the most beautiful deaths I've seen in TV. R.I.P. to Gloria. She got caught right up under the eye. Man, if she would have survived this, she would have had the same eye Buddy has in Gary, Indiana. R.I.P. boo. R.I.P. But Tommy told him to leave earlier in the day. He didn't listen. Now, Tommy, he's been watching D-Mac because he just talked to him earlier. D-Mac warned him to keep his gun on him. D-Mac also is good with numbers. So now he wants to know what exactly is going on with D-Mac. Let me follow him because he's been helping me out a little bit too much. This could potentially be a setup. Now, he follows him down to that alley. You remember he used to have that Mac 10 at with the picture of JP and him as a kid? Well, Tommy goes down there after he leaves and he finds the picture. And who is it? JP and baby D-Mac. So now he's putting 2 and 2 together. Wait, my brother ain't seen his son in 14 years since he was 2 years old. This kid's been coming around and he's warned me. Is this my nephew? Tommy goes home and he looks at a picture of him and Kate when he was little. And he opens up his phone and he's thinking about calling her. And then we actually see Kate and she gets a phone call. And she's like, who is this? And it's JP on the other line. He actually called his mom. When Tommy finds this out, it's about to be a crazy episode 9 and 10. All right, there you go. Episode 8 of Power Book 4 of Force. Man, We got a week break and then we're coming back with 9 and 10. It's only going to get crazier from here. What do you think is going to happen now that Kate knows that JP has her number and potentially knows that Tommy is in Chicago? Because we know JP is going to spill the beans. Let me know what you guys think about that. And also, what is Vic going to do to bounce back and get the rightful vengeance for Gloria in that death that she got? Let me know what you think. I'm MoedotJ. If you like the content on the channel, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. I'm out.
Jimmy on the beat, boy.